Hi guys, how's it going? So this is another video on the Kubernetes CKAD mock exam. So this is mock exam 2, as you can see here. So without further ado, I'm just going to get into solving the questions. I've got 9 questions here. So the first question is, the first task is to create a deployment called my web app with image engines. So I'm going to say if there's a deployment already, I'm going to um check first. So I'll say get deploy. So there's not deploying the current namespace. So I'm going to run run create deploy my web app, and it's going to use image of engines, and it's going to have uh, replicas replicas of 2, and I'm going to use this as a template first that I will edit later. So I'm going to send this template to a web app file, web app.yaml. So if I go to the web app.yaml now, I can update this. Here we are being asked to add this label, a tier equal to front end. So okay, that label has been added. Tier equal to front end, as you can see here. So I'm going to what else do I need to do? So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to run kapply f web app YAML get port. There should be 2 web apps running, as you can see here. Now the next ask is to expose the deployment as a node port service with this name front end service on port 80, and the node port is 3000 30083. That's 30,083. So to expose it, I'll run kexpose. The What I want to expose is basically a deployment. The deployment is my web app, and it's going to be exposed on port 80. It's going to be exposed on port 80, and the name of this service is going to be front end service. So I'm going to say the output of this is YAML. I'm going to say the dry run equal to client. This is because I don't want to run it directly. I want to create a template and inspect the output. So I'm going to say front svc.yaml is the file name. Now we open the file front svc.yaml file, and I'll see that this has been created here. Instead of specify target port here, as you can see, the requirement is to create this service as node port. So I'm going to replace this target with node. So it will be node port, and I'm going to specify the type of service here as node port service. So what is the so the node port is actually 30,083 port number. So I'm going to save this and exit, and then run kapply f front svc front. So I've got some error, so I'm going to update the file again. So here it should be node port starting with small letter n, not capital letter. I'm going to save this one and try again. So that has been created. So you can basically I can try to so let me get the service KGet SVC. So as you can see, front-end service has been created. The type is node port and it's listening on port 18, forwarding traffic to party 83. So I'm going to move on to the next task. So the next task is to add a taint to node, this node 01. So if I say kget node. So we've got two nodes. One is control plane, the second one is node 01. So to add taint, you can run k taint node. So we want to taint node 01 and we need to apply a key. The key here is app type. So I say app underscore type, and the now we need to specify the value, which is alpha, and the effect colon effect is going to be no schedule. So that should add the taint to the node. Now what I can do is I can say describe node. I want to describe node 01, and I'm going to check if there is if the taint has been applied. So I would say grep I I'm going to say taint. So you can see we apply taint of key app type and the value of alpha and this effect of no schedule to that node 01. Now the next task is to create a pod called alpha with image of Redis and with toleration to node 1. Basically, they want us to create this pod on node 1, not on the control plane. So what I would do is I would say run run pod, run alpha. Alpha is the name of the pod. Image is going to be Redis, and I'm going to say the output is YAML. I'm going to create a template. So dry run equal to client. So I will create the template in the alpha.yaml file, and I will open the alpha.yaml file. Now, what I need to do is add a toleration. Now we want to create this. We want this port to be for node 01. So here we say tolerations. So we say the key toleration key is toleration a list. Let me have a quick check to the on Kubernetes documentation. Where is Kubernetes documentation? Things and toleration. All right, toleration is a list. So I'm going to basically make it as a list, right? So key is basically the app underscore type. The so we have key, we have operator. I say operator equal, and we have value. The value is basically the alpha here, and the effect here is no schedule, as you can see here. The effect is no schedule. So I'm going to execute this. I'm going to say k apply f alpha.yaml. So I'm going to see if this has been created or not. One k get pod. So alpha is running on. So I need to use wildcard 0 wide. So alpha is running on node 1, as you can see here. So we are good. So I'll move on to the next task. So the next task is to apply a label app type beta to node control plane. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the node, get node control plane, and I'm going to send the output of YAML format into control plane, and that is not the control. I just say control.yaml, and I'm going to say vi control.yaml. I will update this, and I'm going to add the label here. So the label is basically app underscore type is better. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to say hey, because I need to delete the existing control plane and recreate it. So I'm going to say k replace force f control.yaml. So that has been replaced now. I'm going to say k get node control plane, and I'm going to say show labels. So that labels app type has been applied, as you can see here. So the next step is to basically create a deployment called beta app with image of engines and replicas of tree. That is easy enough. So I'll say create deploy called beta app, and image is equal to engines, right? Engines, images, engines, and replicas equal to 3. I'm not going to create a template for that. I'll just execute it. So k gets deploy. So that deployment should be ready. Beta apps is ready. Okay, now okay, here set no affinity to the deployment. Oh, I see. So basically, they want us to set a node affinity to that deployment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it later, but for now, I'm going to have to create a template, and I'm going to say try run and call to clients, and I'm going to say better apps, uh, better app, hmm, better app YAML. So I'm going to say vi better app.yaml. So what they've asked me to do is set a node affinity, which basically means this deployment should be, I mean, all the pod in this deployment should go to control plane node. So I'm going to go down here within um, the the image spec or the container spec. I mean the pod spec, not container spec. So here I'm going to say affinity, and I'm going to basically use node affinity, and the node affinity, it's been provided here, required during scheduling or ignored during execution. So I'm going to paste that there, and I'm going to say node selector terms. So the node selector terms, I'm going to say, so the node selector term is actually a list. So I'm going to say match uh, match expressions, and the key. So I need the key here. So the key is going to be the key of that control plane. So I'm going to open another tab here, and oh, okay, I don't need to open another tab to check. I already know the control plane label. So this is the control plane label. So I'm going to just get this one. Basically this is the key is app type, right? And I want to select it by app type, and the operator here, the operator is going to be, I can use in, and I'll say values value is going to be a list. So if it's in beta, basically, if the archetype has the value is better or contain better, it should schedule the port on the control plane node. So I think that is it. I'm going to uh, um, save that and going to use K instead of apply. I need to use replace because I already created it earlier. Force F beta app.yaml. Hmm. So I've got error somewhere. Affinity. Okay, I see my mistake. So this needs to have Y affinity. Y save and try again. So that has been created. KGet port. I want to see which node the better app is scheduled on wide. So it should be on beta apps are scheduled on control plane. How many beta apps we have? 3. Good. So I will move on to the next task. So the next task is to create a new ingress resource for the service. Um, the, my video service to be made available at this URL. Basically, we need to use URL to access some pod. But let's go and create that ingress. So to create the ingress, you run k create ingress, then the ingress name. I will say my video. And before I do that, let me see what port that my video service on. Get SVC. So my video service on port 8080. So now I can say create ingress, and the ingress name I say my video service. And so the ingress need to have rule. So the rule is basically you need to specify the host. So the host is basically provided here. So I will paste the host there, and you need to specify the where it should direct the traffic to. Here is called video, so that is the path video. And now the next thing you need to do is add equal to, and you need to provide the service name. Here it's my video service, and the port that my video service is running on is port 8080. And the other requirement they've asked us to do is basically to specify annotation. So I say annotation equal to. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste and paste. So I will say annotation equal to that. I think that should be good enough. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to execute it first. What I want to do is try to check first if I'm able to access this URL. So I'll use call-v for verbose and paste it there and see. Without that ingress, am I able to access this? No, I'm not able to access it. I'm getting 404 not found error. So let me create that ingress again. Let me create it now. And let's see if I'm able to access that. Something is wrong. Exact. Okay. Wait. Well, okay, I see what I've done wrong. I need to provide hyphen for the rule. So, okay, let me run the call command now since that service as the ingress has been created. Let me first run get ingress. So ingress is created, and okay, let me run call again. So you see now we've got 200, okay, which means that our ingress is working as expected. I will move on to the next task. So the next task is to deploy a new, so they've deployed a new port. This is the port. This port has an initial delay before it is ready. Update the newly created port, this port with a readiness probe using the given spec. So these are the spec. Okay. So I'm going to get port. So this port has been created, right? I'm going to edit it and say edit port, and that is port something, and I'm going to direct the output to, no, not directing the output. I just enter. So now we edit this port. What I want to do is add a readiness probe to that port. I think I can do that here. So that will be within the container, right? So within the container, I say readiness probe, and so we need to specify HTTP gets. The path is /ready, and the port number is 8080. So I'm going to save this one and quit this, and I'm going to say replace false f, that is a TMP. I'll just copy and paste this one. So that may take a bit of time. So I'll try and move on to the next task while that is running. So the next task is to create a pod called nginx 1401 in the default namespace with these engines with image. So let me use this one. So I will create a template, run nginx 1401, and the image is equal to nginx, right? And that is in the default namespace. I don't need to worry about that. And I'm going to have the output to be in YAML format. It's a client, and I'm going to send this one to YAML file. So let me go back. Maybe this is done. So K gets port, right? So this is running now. So I think that readiness probe is working. Maybe this is why it's showing it's not ready. So if I say describe port with port, then port with something, and you see it's failing because that readiness probe is working as expected. So as you can see here, connection refused. So I think that is what is expected from there. So I'm going to keep going with this task. So if I say vi engines and engines.yaml, so what we need to do is basically add a liveness probe to this to the container, and basically to restart if this command fails. So I'm going to edit the container and specify the liveness probe, and so here I'm going to specify the exec. Earlier I specified HTTP get for the readiness probe, but this one requires us to execute a command. So I'm going to say exec command. So the command we need to do is execute is basically an ls command, right? So I'm going to say ls and um and this part, the part is var www html probe, and I think, yeah, that is it. The so basically the check should start after delay of 10 seconds. So I'm going to specify the initial delay second. It's going to be 10 seconds, and so it should run every 60 minutes. So to do that, you need to specify period seconds, which we make sure it's run every 60 seconds. So I'm going to save this and run kapply f engines. So that has been created, kget ports. So engines 1401 is running. So the next step is to create a job called whale sale. So I'm going to create a job with image of a busy boss. Create jobs. Um, um, I think, yeah, create job, and the job name is will say, and the image is busy box, and I'm going to send this to a file. I'll call that file job.yaml. So if I go to job.yaml, I need to add the command. So if I go to the okay, I need to add the command, right? So I will edit this file and say command. So the command I need to add is basically echo, an echo command. So I just paste this one there. So what I'm going to do here is put a quotation mark there and put a comma in between. So the next thing is basically to specify the job completions. So that should mean so within the job spec, I would say completions, which means the number of jobs. That there should be 10 of them, and the backup limits. Backup limits. I believe that's the number of failure before it stops. So restart policy so I'm just going to save it and never and create it. Apply job.yaml. So if I now say kget port, you should see the job. The first one has been completed, second, third, and fourth, and so on. So I'm not gonna wait for it to complete, but it's working. So I'm going to go to the next task. The next task is to create a multi-port with 2 containers. So I'm going to create a port template, krun multi-port, and the image for the first image is called engines, and the engines has an environment variable of type. So I'm going to say env equal to type. The variable name is type, and the value is planet. Type and planet. So I'm going to say the output is YAML. I'm going to say don't run it yet. So dry run, go to client, and I'm going to send the output to multi.yaml file, and I'm going to view edit multi.yaml file and basically add the second port specification. So, second container specification. So the second container, I'm going to say env, env, the name is going to be type, right? Type, and the value is going to be more. And so that is the um environment variable for the second container. Now the uh image of that second container image is um busy box, and the name is Europa. The name is Europa. And what else is this one has got a command. Command is basically to sleep for 4,800 seconds. So I'm going to say sleep, sleep, sleep for 4,800 seconds. I think that's it. I'm going to save this one and apply f multi.yaml. So that has been created. KGet ports. So this is where is it? Multi-port, so there are two pods running. Okay, let's move on to the next task, the final one. The final task is basically to create a persistent volume called custom volume with size 15 megabytes and the reclaim policy to be retained. And access mode is read write many, and host part is opt data. So I'm going to say vi.pv.yaml. So I'm going to say edit API version. API version, I'm going to say that is v1. I'm going to say the kind is persistence volume, and I'm going to say metadata, and the name of the PV is custom volume, and the kind I'm going to say mistake. I'm going to say spec is access mode is going to be read write many, and the capacity storage is basically 50 megabytes, and the host part is basically opt data. I think so. By default, the reclaim policy is retained, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I'll say save and say kapply and pv.yaml fpv.yaml. I think I made a mistake somewhere. Let me see. Let's see. So this is where I made a mistake. So should be done. Try again. So that has been created. KGet PV. So you can see the time policy is by default retained. So that is fine. I think that is the end. I'm going to end this and check. So the first fail, interesting. Second pass. So if I VI web app, so I can see, oh, I see. It's because of the wrong label. So it should be, I wasn't paying too much attention. So it should be web uh, app. with just one B, not double B, and I made a lot of mistake here. So web app. So I need to try to recreate web app.yaml. Um, my web app is not found. The deployments of web app my web app not found. Okay. So what is still going on? My web app. Okay. They apply. I see the error is because I was using replace, but so that has been created now. Okay, so now let me check the pay get SVC. The service. So let me try to edit the service again. So here it should be just my web app. And if you see here the label, so anyway, this is the so for the service, I just need to correct that issue. So the label issue. So if I say pay replace false SVC, so okay, it's been replaced. Let me test again. So it's passed now. All right, so that is 100%. Yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment. Have a lovely day and goodbye.